So when I received the confirmation that I did indeed have breast cancer, pretty much all at once, my thoughts were, what stage? Will I survive? If it's an early stage, I'm gonna have this major surgery and all these scars. If I have chemo, I'm gonna lose my hair. Will I be able to have children? How will I have children? Do I need to go through fertility preservation? Who's going to be interested in dating a bald chick? You know, all these things. And, you know, some of it might sound a little silly, but they're all relevant. How do I talk to my workplace? You know, how do I, you know, let them know without revealing too much? Will they be supportive? Will I have a job? Will I lose my job? Which was great, by the way, and there are great resources for that. So it's a flood of emotions, and then when you meet friends like I did through that support group I attended, it starts to turn to a more positive experience. And I'm starting to forget bits and pieces of my diagnosis, which I think is a really good thing because it's been 11 years. I don't think I'll ever forget all the things, but in this case, I think it's really good when people say, I can't remember what date I was diagnosed.
How do you allow both of those things to exist congruently? Forget it all, but don't forget because other people need to know your story.
That's a great question, and I really think it boils down to each individual. I don't know that there is an exact right answer to that. I think if people want to forget or do forget, it's okay and it can be good. Like, you don't want them to forget their treatment, you know, like going to a treatment appointment. But I think that's okay. And I think that talking about it is okay too. What I have learned because of my positive experience with that support group and then my positive experience starting my own, I, for several years, was like, you have to go to a support group. You have to come. You have to come. It's so good. You have to. I learned that we don't all feel that same way. We don't all want to go to a support group. Or you know, I have to remind myself, I didn't feel I needed support until it came to that question mark chemotherapy moment, right? It was several months since I had been diagnosed till I got that information and knew I was going to do. So in our own time, in our own way, and I don't think that there's a wrong answer as long as we're knowledgeable about our diagnosis and making the right treatment decisions and showing up for the appointments. Those are the things you definitely don't want to forget.
How did the treatment process impact your life?
I had a double mastectomy, which had me out of work for 2 months. And I was nervous about that because I'm a doer and a busybody. And I'm like, how am I going to lay in bed for 2 months? It was okay. It really was okay to stop and reflect, you know, for a moment. But I had that. I also did go through fertility preservation. So I had an egg retrieval to freeze my eggs so that if I wanted to have children in the future, I would have that as an option. So that took some time to do a few weeks to do the medicine and retrieval. And then the chemotherapy process was about 3 months. So I had 4 rounds of chemotherapy, but the healing and side effects are forever. You know, I'm permanently scarred. My hair didn't come back as full as it was before. My eyebrows are tattooed because that was impacted as well. So there are these constant reminders that you're right, to your point, you know, there'll be a never forget the big picture and what happened, but I'm kind of if I can't control the situation, control your mindset about it. So I was waking up every day for several years without eyebrows and trying my best to draw them on. Well, guess what? There's tattoos, and now I don't have to draw them. But when I moved back to Central Illinois, I became involved as a volunteer at Susan G. Komen. So when they had a job opportunity open, it felt like the perfect fit. I'm like, maybe this is why this happened. You know, now I will get back into the nonprofit world and raise funds for breast cancer research and patient treatment assistance. So so that's how that happened, and I've remained a nonprofit since that time, you know, for the last 9-10 years, which has been great. And as far as, you know, personal life and all of that, I had shared I was fearful of, you know, dating and what that was going to be, you know, how that was going to happen. I'm like, oh, I'll probably never get married, probably never have kids. Well, I did get married, and I found out that I was the one that was the most insecure about dating. You know, nobody else was insecure about what I had been through but myself. So don't be so hard on yourself, you know. I don't have any children, but that's okay. You know, that can happen if I'd like it to. and my family has been great. You know, it is a true blessing to have a strong support system, and I know they don't always exist, but really no one should walk this journey alone. So finding resources and groups like Central Illinois Young Breast Cancer Survivors and making friends, or getting involved with your local Susan G. Komen office and volunteer and support resources. There are others out there who will rally and support.